Well, flowers in bloom can only mean one thing. Seasonal allergies are on the rise.
In today's Health Matters, we are talking about natural ways to ease the sniffles and sneezes. And joining us now to tell us how to do that is Dr. Julie Gatza from the Florida Wellness Institute. So, Dr. Julie, great to see you.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Pollen season is certainly upon us. Okay, we're seeing people who didn't suffer from allergies previously now saying, you know what, I kind of feel it this year. So what is the difference? I hear that when there's a cold winter like we had, that then the allergy season is stronger, or is the pollen getting stronger?
You know, I think it has to do with the weather. It also has to do with the actual immune system of that person. Have they been eating well over the winter? Have they been eating a lot of sugar? So their dietary habits have a lot to do with what's going on seasonally with their allergies, because underlying all the immune system is digestion. And if you handle the digestive system first and foremost, you can actually boost your immune system and be able to fight what's happening in the environment.
Right, and of course the focus is trying to do this the natural way. And you say certain supplements can actually help destroy pollen molecules. What are they and how do they actually help?
So my favorite is a high-quality digestive enzyme. When you use a high-quality digestive enzyme, the one that I use is Absorbaid, it has the different enzymes in there to break down the proteins. It handles the inflammation. It helps with viruses and bacteria. So there's lots of over-the-counter solutions, but when you take an enzyme like the Absorbaid, this is how you tackle the digestion. You break down your food, you break down the inflammation, the proteins, and aid the immune system in some of the aid that it needs at the time.
Okay, enzyme is one way, but you're saying that daily habits that you recommend for keeping allergies at bay can start with something like showering at night. So why is showering at night so important versus the morning?
Well, you have all the pollen sitting on you from walking outside.
Yeah.
So you want to shower that off, not put that in the sheets. Same thing with putting Fido in the bed on the sheets. Try to keep them off the bed, if nothing more. There's, you know, a neti pot that you can use that it helps to naturally clear out all the gunk in the sinus.
Question about the neti pot. Question about the neti pot.
Yeah, they're not pretty, but they work.
No, they're not pretty, and it's gross, and I wish there was somebody filming me doing it because I must look insane. But how often should you do it?
It depends on how often you're congested. But if you're having to do it all the time, then you want to actually think about the fact of why do you need that so often? Let's, you know, go to digestion and some of your habits first.
Right, and with washing, they say also make sure you wash your hair because the pollen loves to really cling in your hair. Going back to the neti pot, is that in addition to or in place of like the saline sprays? Is a neti pot better than the saline spray perhaps?
It depends on what you respond to best, but it is a more voluminous sort of thing that goes in, cleans out the sinuses, and it comes out the other nostrils. So you're right, it is not pretty, but it's been used for, you know, hundreds of years, and it's a simple solution to just manually getting rid of the gunk.
Yeah, I don't think I ever looked sexier than doing the neti pot. Okay, so shower, neti pot, and what about just overall like the Flonas's of the world and things like that? I know you said the enzyme, but do you recommend like all the kind of preventative things that, or are those just kind of masking the underlying issue?
Well, what they do is anytime you're taking a medication, it's robbing Peter to pay Paul. So it's forcing another body part to work harder so that you get the relief of symptoms. So always try to avoid going that way because you're the one that's going to suffer in the end. So the natural solutions, the things that are different ethnicities brought to this country, the ginger, the peppermint on the plate, the parsley, pineapple, all these things are also natural digestive enzymes and enzymes for also handling inflammation that's happening with allergies.
Yeah, and we know the key is sometimes starting these measures earlier. So how soon should we start before things start to bloom?
I mean, if you do it all the time, you have a better, healthy system. So if you're taking good digestive enzymes with every meal, you're getting more bang for your buck. But the Absorbaid, it increases your absorption by 71%. To me, that's a no-brainer. You're buying the food and eating the food and preparing it, so you might as well get the most nutrition you can from it.
Yeah, great reminders, great advice. Dr. Julie, thank you so much for sharing those recommendations with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.